So welcome and thank you for joining me today to talk about mindful eating. I am Roz Grossman and I have been meditating and doing mindfulness for about 20 years. I had a diagnosis of breast cancer about 20 years ago, and that was really scary for me. So I decided to learn to meditate, and I did, and I found it really helped me in my just general stress, some difficulty sleeping, and just to feel better about the whole situation that I was in back then. I have a nursing background and a healthcare educator background, and so about 10 years ago I decided I really wanted to teach this, and that's what I've been doing. I do a lot of work here in Burlington at the University of Vermont Medical Center. I'm working a lot with cancer patients, and that I've just been so grateful to be able to do that. And I also have my own practice and business called Mindful Stress Relief. You can find that, that's the website if you're interested. And I do some classes in the community too. So mindful eating is a great topic, but I want to start by just talking a little bit about what is mindfulness. Because mindfulness is so popular right now. It's really gone mainstream. You hear it in the news, you see it on magazines, and maybe your kids are learning to be mindful or have mindfulness practices. They may even be bringing it home to you because there's a lot to it, and it seems to work to really help people to reduce their stress and anxiety, and just encourage them to have a quality of life that is easier for them. So mindfulness, my definition of mindfulness that I use is being present, just being present in every single moment, which is not so easy. But that's something that all of you already have the ability to do. I can't give you that. We all can be aware. But there's practices, and mindful eating is a good practice for it, or mindful breathing is another one. There's also some great science that's out right now from the neuroscientists. There's something called neuroplasticity, which in my lifetime, they discovered that we can make new neurons. Our brains make new neurons. We can do that our whole entire life. And this is really good news, because that means we can create new pathways in our brains and maybe learn to change some of the difficult habits that we have. And we have some habits even around mindful eating. So mindful eating is simply paying attention to what you eat. And I brought with me today, I'm going to demonstrate for you a little mindful eating. And perhaps you're sitting at your desk and you can come along with me and do this for yourself too, or just watch. So I brought my favorite snacks with me. There's a bowl full of almonds, a clementine, some clementine pieces, and a bar of chocolate. And yes, you can eat chocolate mindfully. So I'm going to start, and maybe you'd like to do this with me. And just take a comfortable seat. Put your feet on the floor if you can. Take a breath. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can, but you don't have to. And I'm going to ring my bells, and then we'll do the demonstration. So thank you for doing that with me. So I'm going to pick up this clementine and just look at it. So I'm going to explore this with my senses. And looking at it, I see that it's round, like a ball. It has a stem, a place where it was picked from the tree. It has bumps on it, wrinkled. but also kind of smooth and easy to hold in my hand. So I peeled a clementine beforehand, so I feel like I'm on the cooking channel. But here we go. So here's a little slice of clementine. I'm going to hold it in my hand and take a look at it. It's interesting. It has some bumpiness to it, some pieces of white, I guess that's the inner skin of the clementine, and there's a hard surface covering it. So I'm going to break it in half. Hopefully not squirt all over the place. It's juicy inside. I'm going to put down a half and just really look at it. So it's pretty interesting looking. You can see it maybe from there. And I'm going to bring it up closely to my nose. And it smells fruity, pungent. And as soon as I do that, as soon as I bring it close to my nose, my mouth starts to water. I want to pop this little clementine right in my mouth. But I'm going to do something fun with it too. I'm going to take it and hold it up to my ear and see if this clementine has anything to say. No, not today. It really doesn't. So I'm not going to eat it right now, but maybe a little bit later. But I know, because I had a clementine this morning with my breakfast, that they're juicy. They're juicy inside, and there's like this full burst of flavor. So what I've just done is use my senses to look at my food, to touch it, to bring it close to my nose and smell it. And smelling is one of our earliest senses. So there's a big connection between smelling and the food that we eat. And I even brought it close to my mouth enough so my mouth started to water, salivate. You know this feeling. And of course I listened to it and it just didn't have anything to say. But I can also do another thing. I can take this clementine and look at it and think about where it came from, what it needed to grow. It needed somebody to plant a tree, farmer, somebody to tend it. It needed soil, water, the sun, and maybe a little food for it. And then it needed somebody to pick it when it was ripe, put it in a box, ship it off to the market, and somebody in a store to take the clementine, put it in a display, and then somebody like me or you to go and buy it. And so you can also even think about what it takes for you to do the work that you do in order to have the funds that you need to buy food. So there's a lot that goes into this little clementine. And I'm certainly somebody who does this. How often do we eat mindlessly? We have really busy days. I know people are busy today. We're on a 24/7 kind of schedule these days. And so what do? We eat at our desk. We were just talking about that before I started. We eat in the car, so that's something that I am known to do, and I'm actually trying to stop that, or cut it down at least. We eat watching TV, reading paper, catching up on some important task that we have to do, looking at our phones, looking at our email, and so we're not paying attention at all to what we're doing. And I listened recently to a radio interview called The Food We Eat. It was a TED radio hour, so you can look that up. And one of the people being interviewed is a writer, a cookbook writer, and his name is Mark Bittman. I had never heard of him before, but he writes a cookbook. It just came out in a new edition called How to Cook everything. And it's huge. I bought it because I was so interested in it. It's a big book. You could use it to, even do some exercises. So, but one of the things that he did was define food. And what he said food is, this is actually from the dictionary, something that sustains and nourishes us. It also increases our health. And he also said, and I found this fascinating, that approximately 40%, and I don't know where he gets this percentage, of the food in our supermarkets don't actually fit that definition. So think about that. We have so much processed food right now. Some of it's fun, we like it, it's comforting, but it may not fit this definition so well. And certainly in the supermarket, there's a whole lot of things that are in there that are non-food items too. So I'm guessing that he's counting that too. So choosing our food is complicated. It's not an easy thing to do, and there's many factors to it. I think about the food that I ate growing up. Some of it I liked, and some of it I didn't like. I didn't like those canned peas that I ate growing up. It's connected to our ethnicity, the food that our family ate and our relatives ate. It's connected to holidays, and it's also connected to availability. What food do we have? Some people have a lot of choices in their life, and there are people in the world that don't have much choice at all. And also to personal likes and dislikes. It also is connected to whether you like to cook or not. So I'm somebody that likes to cook, but I don't always have the time. When I can take the time, I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to looking into Bittman's book a little bit more and finding some new recipes. I like cookbooks. But eating can be problematic too, and we all know that. In choosing food, sometimes we go for food out of our emotions and sheer comfort. And that's not all bad. There's some good comfort food out there. And in preparing for this, I've been doing some mindful eating practices myself. And yesterday I made my all-time comfort food, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which is something that I took, I think, every day to lunch, just about growing up in my little bag. And I made it, I toasted the bread was just toasted perfectly right. The peanut butter was nice and creamy. I choose a natural peanut butter that doesn't have sugar in it. And I had some grape jelly also that, it's sweet enough. It didn't need extra sugar. And I sat down at my table and I ate that peanut butter sandwich mindfully. And somewhere along in eating it, I realized I wanted some milk with it too. So I went and got myself, I don't drink cow's milk that often, so I went and got myself a little glass of almond milk. And it was wonderful. It was really comforting to me. But I like potato chips too, and French fries. So there's all kinds of comfort foods that we may choose. And this is a time when we're choosing to eat something from an emotional place that we can use mindfulness. We can take a breath. And this is a really nice book too called Eating Mindfully by Susan Albers. And in this book, she suggests that we just notice when we have that gotta have moment, and we're heading for the refrigerator without thinking of it, or the candy on our desk, or somebody else's desk, or stopping at a quick stop for something, to maybe just pause, take a moment, and breathe in and out, and then make that decision. Maybe you want it, and that's fine. So there's no judgment here about that, but we can use mindfulness to make good choices for ourselves That's really one of the benefits of being mindful. It's about noticing what is. Could be the food, it could be our emotions, could be a lot of things, and then making choices that are good for us, that are healthy for us. So I'm not going to eat my almonds or chocolate. I'm going to save that for later. But I'd like to leave you with some suggestions to consider about mindful eating. So 1, mindfulness is about paying attention. You already know how to do that. You can do that, but you can practice it. And 2, you can practice it through mindful eating, because we need to eat to live, and eat regularly. 3, try eating a meal or a piece of fruit like the clementine, or a snack that you like, mindfully, without reading, without, just putting everything aside, shutting the TV off or even the radio. And use your senses, like I did, to notice something. Do something like I did. You do not have to eat slowly to eat mindfully. You can do this quickly. I have eaten mindfully in my car, I must admit. So I hope that you will choose to take some of this information and think about the food that you eat. Maybe appreciate the food that we get. And I have one little quote to end with. And this is from another book, How to Eat, by a very famous, well-known mindfulness teacher whose name is Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Vietnamese monk who's taught mindfulness to many, many Westerners. This is one of the things he says. I'll read from the book. When we eat our meal, we should show up for that meal 100%. Eating mindfully is a practice. If we choose to drink a cup of tea in mindfulness, the pleasure of drinking tea will more than double, because we are truly there, and the tea is also truly there. Life is real. It's not a dream when mindfulness is there. So thanks very much, and I will put these references on my website, and maybe I can talk to the folks at the hospital too, and we can offer that to you. So thanks. Gina's going to join me.
Hi, Roz.
Hi, Gina.
I'm Gina Britton from the University of Vermont Medical Center, and we did have one question that came in specifically that we thought might be relevant to share with you. Roz, somebody wrote in and wanted to know, what's the difference between mindful eating and dieting? Is mindful eating dieting? Are they two in the same? Do they relate to one another? And how might someone use mindfulness if they are in the process of trying to manage or maintain their weight?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. And mindful eating is not dieting. It's not so much about creating a specific plan like a diet, which hopefully if you're going to do that, you're going to do that with some support and some help and some guidance, because there's so many diets out there, and I would not even begin to recommend one or the other. So a nutritionist can really help you with that. But if you have chosen a diet and you do want to incorporate mindful eating, that can be really useful to just notice your habits. Maybe you're going to do a journal of your eating. Sometimes that is often suggested in a nutritional program. But something like, just choosing a piece of fruit like we did today and eating that with some attention can be a good practice to support whatever diet you might be on.
I imagine it might slow down the process and keep you from consuming too much all at once, or getting to the end of that bag of Doritos more quickly than you probably should.
It certainly can do that, especially if you're going to do what Susan Albers is saying and take that pause. But also, you know, it can be you're just loving what it tastes like so much that you just keep eating. But but hopefully not. Hopefully, you know, I think it really can help us to. Mindfulness can help us to self-regulate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the benefits of it, and food is one of the places that we can really use it.
Great. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for this. It's been
Yeah.
super informative. And if you
Thank
have
you.
any additional questions for Roz about mindful eating, please let us know via Facebook and we'll respond to you as quickly as we can. Thanks again.